Ooh, those Pokemon content creators, they sure can be annoying, right? They come up with all these clickbaity titles. I know I'm guilty of it. You kind of have to be. You kind of have to play the game. You put up titles like "The sky is falling," "The Pokemon market is crashing," because you really need to you need these big keywords, right, to bring in a new audience and also retain your existing audience. And a lot of times, the Pokemon YouTube atmosphere is full of a lot of different creators who are kind of specialists in different sectors, different sections of the game. So a lot of times they might be tailoring their content to a specific section that they're more familiar with that might be failing a little bit. And that's why it gives me a little bit of a chuckle when over the past few weeks I've seen so many different creators and so many different people talking about how the Pokemon market is falling. It's in a free fall. It's not doing well. It's in a down market. And I kind of laugh because from what I'm looking at, a lot of Pokemon is actually on an upward trend, especially considering what happened at the end of December or at the beginning of December when we had all these additional products kind of get thrown out at us, right? Like modern Pokemon has been doing fairly well. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. We're going to focus specifically on booster packs. And this is going to be part one of a two-part YouTube series, if you want to call it a YouTube series. But we're going to focus on XY era booster packs. And then the next video, which will come out on Sunday, which will go over Sun and Moon era booster packs. But if we're going to look at things, we're going to look at things, and things look actually like they're moving pretty well. Things are moving pretty well. And collecting sealed products was never really something that people did when I kind of got back into the game in around 2015 or so. A lot of people collected cards. A lot of people collected promos, the collected cards for their decks, but they weren't necessarily focusing on sealed product. That really changed over the past couple of years, where a lot of people were like, I want to buy one to open, I want to buy one to keep sealed. And that kind of happened with booster boxes, but also with collection boxes and booster packs and things like that. A lot of people were like, hey, some of these booster boxes are really expensive. If I want to try and collect something from Black and White, if I want to collect something from all the X and Y sets, I don't want to be paying $1,000 for each booster box. So they started focusing more on art sets. And because of that, some of these booster packs really started climbing in price. And since these sets were very plentiful not too long ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, and then all of a sudden we lost them all, but they were after an era where they wouldn't get reprinted. So now all of a sudden demand is a little bit higher for these and supply is a little bit lower, because there has been so much attention dedicated to collecting art sets, collecting booster packs, because some of those booster boxes got super expensive. So we're going to jump into XY, the XY era in today's video. If you appreciate it, if you appreciate the video, please hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a like, leave a comment. It does go a long way for the algorithm. Tomorrow, I am super stoked because we're going to be beginning our Evolving Skies giveaway. We're going to be giving away a booster box of Evolving Skies every week until a reprint comes, until a reprint happens, or the end of 2022, whichever one comes first. I'm giving myself an out. If there's no reprint that ever comes, we only have to give away a booster box every week for the rest of 2022. That's it. But if a reprint comes, we can stop. So click on the video tomorrow to get that kind of information about that giveaway. It's going to be super cool. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to flip you guys around and stop rambling and talk about the Pokemon market. We're going to start out, just go in order here of the main series set releases, and then at the bottom, I'm going to go over the specialty sets that came out, which would be Generations, and which would be Shining Legends. So we're going to start out with XY Base here. Really, really fun set. Some cool looking cards in this set. You've got the full art Venusaur, you've got the full art Xerneas, you got the full art Yveltal, you got a lot of really cool cards in XY Base. It's got a high point of 45.22, which it actually hit really recently, kind of at the beginning of February. And what you're going to see, you're going to notice a pattern with a lot of these sets where their low point, their market low, happened about 9 months ago when we began tracking data for this, which is the beginning of July of 2021. Very, very interesting. So a lot of these rose, they did hit a little blip here and there, but they're continuing to rise. So while a lot of people are talking about Pokemon being in a down market, these booster packs have continued to rise, or maybe they've leveled off a little bit, but so much higher than where they were kind of mid-pandemic, mid-huge resurgence of Pokemon. So 35.36 is the 9-month low that we've had with XY Base, which it hit kind of at the beginning of July. And you can see real consistent gains ever since then. Kind of leveled off a little bit in the end of 2021, and then started getting a little bit more of a spike there. Hit 45.22 at the beginning of February, then dove down a little bit. So it's at 43.83 currently, but not a huge decrease. Kind of leveled off a little bit. If we look at Flashfire, Flashfire is a really interesting set because it's very, very Charizard heavy, and that obviously makes it super popular, right? But it did not get a ton of additional reprints when it comes to collection boxes, when it comes to booster boxes, when it comes comes to anything like that. So kind of mid XY era, Flashfire started getting a lot harder to find, but people were still chasing Charizards. People were still interested in opening the set. So even though there wasn't a ton of competitive playability when it comes to Flashfire, it was still a very in-demand set to purchase. So this booster pack is one of the few booster packs that really mid XY era kind of shot up to about $20 a piece right away. It was very, very interesting to see when it did unfold. 53.40 is the 9-month low. Kind of hit that at the beginning of August and then started shooting up since then. You've got some pretty severe dips and spikes along the way. So a spike that happened right at the beginning of October brought it up quite a bit. Then it dipped down a little bit, but now it's climbed very consistently since then to the point where it's at $60.66 right now, and that's actually at its 9-month high. So we'll see over the next several weeks if it continues to climb. As you can tell, it's at a pretty severe upward trajectory right now. So it's very interesting to see how this will continue performing over the next several weeks. If we look at Furious Fists, 14.23 is its 9-month low, which it hit at the beginning of June/July 2021. It's hit $18.89. That's its 9-month high. It actually hit that kind of at the beginning of February. Now it's dived down a little bit, down to $17.89, but that's only $1. And we'll see. I predict this. I expect this. I shouldn't say predict. I expect this to kind of level off here consistently right around that $18 mark. If we look at Phantom Forces, which is a fabulous set, probably my favorite set when it comes to the XY era block, just because it does have so many great competitive cards in it. 26.20 is its 9-month low, which it hit at the end of June, and it had a very, very severe incline, where at the end of October, beginning of November, it was all the way up to $32.25. Now, it kind of leveled off a little bit. You can see a little bit of a decline after that to the beginning of February, where it kind of dove down to about $28. It's gained a little bit back, so it's sitting right now at $29.62. I expect it to kind of just level off at that point. That's where it'll be for a little bit of time. If we look at Primal Clash, also a really, really severe upward trajectory. Beginning of June 2021, it was down to $8.29, went all the way up to a 9-month high of $11.90 before diving down a little bit and then kind of regaining that back. So it's sitting at $11.50 right now. Also a fun set to open. That was the introduction of all those ancient traits. It had Primal Groudon in it. It had Primal Kyogre in it. Maybe it wasn't the ancient traits, but it did have Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon on it. It was really, really fun set to open. Then we've got Roaring Skies, which really, when Roaring Skies came out, kind of hit the market super hard because there was so much attention to it as far as a competitive aspect goes. Had a 9-month low of $8.32, which is a little bit different than the rest of these. It actually hit that low in the middle of February. Or in the middle of December, and then it's done nothing but climb since then to the point where it's almost back to its 9-month high. So its 9-month high is $14.80, and then you can see it had this huge significant drop. As long as I get my face out of the way, you can see this huge significant drop right after that to its 9-month low, and then look at that huge increase right after that. So it's sitting at $13.75 currently, not too far off of its $14.80 9-month high. Roaring Skies, Primal Clash, Ancient Origins, those are interesting because they did get reprinted so many times, and they had significant reprints well after the sets were released. So again, very interested to see how a lot of these kind of continue to perform in the market moving forward over the next several weeks. If we look at Ancient Origins here, also a fun set to open. $10.56 was its 9-month low, which it hit at the beginning of July, middle of July in 2021. Now it's at its 9-month high, $18.66. It's just been doing nothing but climbing since then. If we look at Breakthrough here, $9.13 is its low, which it hit at the beginning of July. Had some pretty significant gains after that, up to $10.62. Now it's lost a little bit and gained a little bit back, sitting currently at $10.10, so much closer to its 9-month high than its low. A lot of these booster packs, as you can see, do have dips, but they're nowhere near where they were 9 months ago. They just continue to rebound well from those dips, and that just goes to show you a lot of what we already talk about is that sealed continues to grow, right? Eventually, people are going to keep opening things up. There's going to be less supply. There's going to be more demand, and those two, the supply and demand are not going to align well with each other. If we look at Breakpoint, very interesting graph right here. So it hit its 9-month low at the beginning of August here, where it dipped all the way down to $7.58, and it also hit that same price point, just a little bit higher than that, in the end of December of 2021. But it hit its high point, $7.58, right after that. So it had, when it hit its 9-month low initially, after having after being priced around $8, it dropped down to $5.75, then gained a little bit back and kind of leveled off, kind of stayed consistent for a little while before it dipped down again at the end of December, and then shot up like crazy, like a Gyarados out of a can. I don't know where I come up with these things. But back up to its high point of $7.58, and now it's kind of leveled off ever since then. If we look at Fates Collide has a 9-month low of $5.75, which it hit in the middle of September. Its high point of $7.73 just recently hit kind of in the middle of February. Died down a little bit, so it's at $7.42 right now. But for the most part, there's still some excitement about Fates Collide because of the Alakazam in there. Wasn't the most exciting set when it came out. We kind of hit a rough patch right here with Fates Collide Steam Siege, where there wasn't a whole lot of excitement when it came to the Pokemon trading card game. Then Evolutions kicked in and things kind of changed, where a lot of people got super excited and super back into the game. If we look at Steam Siege, not a whole lot of cards in this set that people are super excited about, especially when it first came out. This was right before Worlds, so this was an August set when it came out. Volcanion, Yanmega ended up doing really well at Worlds. I think it won the senior division. $4.16 is its low point. Its high point of $5.72, which had just recently hit at the beginning of March, end of February. Currently, it dipped down a little bit, so it's sitting at $5.26 right now. Evolutions is just the one set that will never make sense to me for the rest of my life. Evolutions is sitting right now at $18.18 for its current market price. Its high point of $19.72, it actually hit last month at the end of February. Its low point of $12.81, it hit 9 months ago at the end of June. But when you look at this set as a whole, when you start analyzing singles in this set, it just boggles my mind because there's not a whole lot of cards in this set that are of huge values when it comes to opening a pack. Evolutions is notoriously known for having rough grades when it comes to PSA, when it comes to BGS, things like that. So I find it very interesting that a lot of people are continuing to crack this open. But again, it does bring back memories of opening up base packs. And base set packs are a lot more expensive than $20 a piece. So that kind of, hey, I want to relive my childhood. I'm going to open up Evolutions for $20 a piece rather than open up base set for $400 a piece. But 1972 is its 9-month high, which it hit at the end of February, currently sitting at $18.18. Then we've got the two specialty sets that came out during the XY block. We've got Generations. We've got Shining Legends. Generations 3101 is its low point, which is actually a lot different than these other sets that we kind of analyzed. Its low point, which had actually hit in the middle of January, and its high point was about 8 months ago, it hit 46.66. So it's done nothing but go down since then. Now it's rebounded a little bit. It's currently sitting at 36.67, still closer to its 9-month low. I don't know if there's just been more Generations that has been found, more that's kind of hit the market, or whatever the case may be, but it is rebounding a little bit, getting back up there, but it did hit a very, very sharp decline at a time when a lot of the other XY packs were rising. The same can kind of be said for Shining Legends, although its 9-month low was 9 months ago, kind of at the end of June. It hit 25.37. Then it hit its peak right at the beginning of December, or beginning of November, I should say. It was up to $30.60. It's dipped down a little bit, went up a little bit, dipped down a little bit more. Now it's currently sitting at $28.27, so it's still closer to its 9-month high than it is its 9-month low. But it'll be interesting, again, to see how some of these packs rebound over the next few weeks and what we're looking like moving forward as more of these become less and less available. This is kind of like the vintage of the future, right? A lot of, we don't expect to get reprints of any of these sets. We don't expect more to hit the market, so kind of seeing how these all play out is always a lot of fun to kind of look at. So I hope you guys do enjoy that kind of data. Like I said, come back on Sunday. We're going to be going over Sun and Moon era booster packs. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of interesting data in that one as well. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. We're going to talk about Evolving Skies reprints. We're going to talk about reprints in general, and then we're going to launch our big giveaway where we're giving away a booster box of Evolving Skies every week until a reprint comes. It's like my way of reprinting the set without the reprint actually happening. So thanks so much for paying attention, coming to the channel. Everything you guys do, all your support really means a lot to me. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.